So you have a big hand chakra in the palm of each hand, and you also have a chakra in each fingertip. And like all chakras, they generate energy. So if you set those particular chakras to be a metallic gold color, like this glitter, then that's the color that they're going to generate, the color of energy, the vibration of energy they're going to generate. And so gold, metallic gold, is a useful color, kind of an ideal color for healing, for repairing, unblocking, releasing, yada, yada. And you don't have to see energy to do any of this. You just use your intention or your thought until we move on to what we're doing next, which is spleen meridian, especially spleen meridian points 6 through 13. So this is the spleen meridian. It starts in the big toe. As you can see, it goes in the inner foot, up through the ankle, the leg, inner leg, thigh, that awesome crease area right there, up tummy meridian too, goes through the sides of the chest, near the armpit, ends there. It is paired with the stomach meridian. Spleen meridian and the stomach meridian, they're both tummy meridians, you know? So the spleen meridian, that's the purple line. Oops, sorry. And the stomach meridian, that's the green line, right? Going through the stomach. Dark green line there, going up and down. So it goes, you know, stomach starts in the upper eye, below the eye right there, right? And then it goes up the side of the face. And then it goes down the throat. And then over the chest area, under the nipples, through the tummy area, right? And then in that crease area, and then the thighs, all the way down to the toes. Right, so this is what I'm talking about when I say one river flows into the next, flows into the next. Spleen meridian, the energy goes through your spleen meridian, goes through your stomach meridian to your spleen meridian. So here is the spleen meridian. So that dark green one that we just did was the stomach meridian. And then it goes from there to the spleen meridian. And then it goes back up your body. So that's how, you know, like that's partly how one work on just one meridian affects many meridians. Let's do it. So the spleen meridian, I just showed it to you before. It's that purple line right there, right? It starts in the big toe and goes up the body. And then this is on the far side of the screen right there, spleen 6 through 13. You know, that's the part we're going to do extra, but right now we could do the whole thing, you know, from the spleen meridian starting in the toe, big toe. Way up. So, and it's on both sides of your legs, both big toes. So the thing is, you know, when you're thinking of the whole route, sometimes that's a little distracting. Although I do have, you know, the middle part of the route on the extreme end there, so you can see like how it goes up the leg and goes through that sort of the leg hip crease right there. I'm sure there's a better word for it than that. That's all I got right now. But you can also heal your spleen meridian or any meridian as a river. Especially if you're getting like too hung up on, you know, where does it go next? I'm so confused, you know, which toe, you know. So you just imagine one big river that represents the whole spleen meridian and look at the start of the river, you know, that would be the first point. And look at the end of the river. And just unblock all the points in the flow of the river. You want the river to have really good flow. Red is the color energetically of the life force. That's ideal for all the meridians. So use gold light. You can see, you know, maybe some places it's red, some places there's like a big black log jam. So just use so much gold light that gets resolved. You don't want any leaks. Sometimes there are places where maybe you see it spurting out wildly. That's not supposed to happen with meridians. So just use gold light. Maybe there's some hard objects stuck in there that were thrown in there. So just melt the hard objects, repair the meridian. So it should be a red flowing river within a red flowing tube, right? And the tube is the meridian itself. And the river is your body's life force and your life force that are flowing through this meridian. And you could even see all the chakras in the river if you really wanted to do it in that much detail, but kind of the point of the river is to not have that much detail sometimes. So it's up to you, you know, what floats your boat, but you could just lift out from the river any junk that's healthy and gentle to get rid of and melt it away. Lift out the junk from the river, melt it away. Lift out the junk from the Spleen Meridian River, melt it all. Angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my spleen meridian, can you please recycle them? And then, you know, maybe just take a break for you know, half a minute or so, and just maybe stretch or breathe or have your healthy beverage. Because, you know, like I said, it's these points, they all do a million different things, help you in a lot of different ways, and one meridian affects a different one. So just chilling out for a second is good. That's why sometimes you compare, you know, this type of energy work with meditation or with journaling or with stretching. Or with watching K-dramas on Netflix. Or whatever. And then specifically spleen 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, as shown in on the extreme end of the screen there, that extra diagram that I spent time on. It's not that impressive what I did to it. It's just that I don't have a lot of experience with it and time was tight. So I'm very impressed with myself. But okay, so this section, spleen 6 through spleen 13, you want it to just be like nice red flowy tube. You don't want it to be like too tight, you know, and you want it to be all red flowy, right? No, because like a lot of people I'm looking at, it's like half hardened black and then half of it is red flowy. So it'd be like the deeper half of it is like solid black, like dried glue or something, you know? So you want to just melt the dried glue part. To the extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now. That's why I just write H and G sometimes, because it's like writing that out and even saying it over and over is a bit repetitive. So spleen 9, they're all really important. I think spleen 6 is especially important, and spleen 9 for clearing edema. But they're all really important. Like if you read a description, some of these points, it's like they go on and on. It helps this and this and this and this and this. It's really wild. That's why you can't really say, I mean, you can find, you know, like what does the spleen meridian do? If you Google that, it'll say, oh, it you know, helps you absorb nutrients from your food. You know, it's part of your digestive process. But, you know, all these points help a million different things. And so it's kind of, you know, a massive oversimplification generally. I mean, I guess it's still useful information, but, you know, each point has so many different benefits. But you can just think of it like a river. And, you know, if check the river. And if you feel like, whoa, the river like completely grinds to a halt right there, then just use a lot of gold light. You can say angels if there are any invasive beings right here. Can you recycle them? And then just, maybe there's some hard like bands constricting it. So just use a lot of gold light, melt that away. You could, like spleen 6 through 13, you can make a composite copy chakra representing spleen 6 through 13 and just use gold light. And, so like your composite copy chakra looks something like this shape, right? That's the basic chakra shape. And just say, okay, well, this represents my spleen 6 through 13. And of course, on both sides of your body, even though that diagram just shows one side of your body, right? So this both branches of your spleen meridian, left and right. Right, so spleen 6 through 13, you're repairing and unblocking them all at once. To the extent that's healthy and gentle, lift out the junk, melt it away, lift out the junk, melt it away. Repair and unblock. All right, so now you can check the whole river of your spleen meridian. You can even do a river that represents your stomach meridian and then your spleen meridian. I showed both of them before we did the doing part. So, you can have the river be, this could be a stomach spleen meridian river. So first the stomach meridian, then goes into the spleen meridian, and just have it be that river. Okay, so the stomach to spleen river unblocking. So you imagine a river that represents both those meridians. First, the early part of the river is the stomach meridian, and then the second half of the river is the spleen meridian. And just see, does this river flow as much as you need it to, as much as your body needs it to? If there's any weird, tornadoes on it, those are generally invasive beings. Say, angels, can you recycle all the invasive beings impacting these meridians? It's a gold light. You can bring up red earth energy, soak this 2 meridian river you got going on. Left out any baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, melt it away. Out the baggage that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, melt. All right, good job. Woohoo! Pretty cool. I hope that was cool for you. Cool for me. Couple deep breaths, just chill out. Let that have its ripple effect with the other meridians. Maybe reground, keep breathing, cool your butt. All right, good job. You're a rock star.